Drahí priatelia, verím a dúfam, že našej relácii americko-slovenskej inšpirácie sa vždy darí spájať Ameriku so Slovenskom, ale aj rôzne inšpirujúce príbehy z najrôznejších častí sveta. Hi everyone, I believe and hope that with our show, the American Slovak Inspirations, we always manage to connect not only the two countries, but also other countries from all over the world with all their inspirational stories and projects that we present to you here in the show. No a dnes s mojím vzácnym hosťom opäť dôjde k takémuto prepojeniu, pretože verím, že téma, o ktorej bude rozprávať, bude ľuďom na Slovensku veľmi dobre známa, ale takisto ľuďom po celom svete. And today it's not going to be an exception, or maybe it's going to be exceptionally well known in Slovakia, because I believe that the topic of the valued guest of today, from today, is going to be very well known in Slovakia. Mojím dnešným hosťom, my guest today in the studio with us is Andrea Bartoli. That's your name, right?
Exactly, Andrea Bartoli, exactly.
Welcome.
Thank you, nice to be here. Wonderful to be here and know that friends in Slovakia may also follow this.
Veľmi sa teším, že tu môžem byť a teší ma aj ten pocit, že ľudia na Slovensku, naši priatelia to môžu sledovať. Ja som teraz sa zaváhala v jeho mene a pritom sa vždy smejem, že moje meno tu nikto nevie dobre vysloviť, tak všetci sme omylní. So I struggled a little with your name, although I always make jokes that people here mispronounce my name, but that shows that we are all weak and we make mistakes. And about weakness we're gonna speak today a little bit. O slabosti sa dnes budeme rozprávať aj v našej téme. Ideme si predstaviť tému zaujímavú a ja som ju ešte stále nepomenovala. Vy ste už prezradili, že máte na Slovensku priateľov, ale my sa vrátime k vašim začiatkom a tomu, aká vás viedla cesta do New Yorku. So far I still haven't said what the topic is, but we keep mentioning that you have friends also in Slovakia. But let's speak about your journey, where it began and what led you here to New York, and that's going to open up the whole topic.
So the connection is the community of Sant'Egidio. The community of Sant'Egidio is clearly well known in Slovakia, is well known here in New York, and clearly well known in Rome. And this family of friends that started in Rome in 1968, I joined in 1970, 2 years later, after the beginning, and I came here in 92. So I was 35. I was an Italian professor with some academic connections, and I started again as an immigrant, learning English in a public library in Queens. The US is an interesting country that way because still has some capacity of welcoming newcomers. So in my case was very generous. I learned English. I started working at Columbia University first, then George Mason. Now I am the dean of the School of Diplomacy and International Relations at Seton Hall University.
Those are like 4 years. Let's try whether I remember them correctly. Áno, takže všetko to spojenie pochádza práve z komunity svätého Egídia, ktorá je zjavne aj na Slovensku, teda veľmi dobre známa a obľúbená a je takisto ale známa aj tu v New Yorku, no a rovnako aj v Ríme, okrem teda iných častí sveta. V Ríme som bol aj ja, tam vlastne komunita začala, bolo to v roku 1968, ja som sa pridal 2 roky neskôr, v roku 1970 a v 92. roku, keď som mal 35 rokov, som prišiel sem do New Yorku. Učil som sa angličtinu v knižnici v časti Queens, takže dá sa povedať, že Amerika je veľmi zaujímavá v tom, že ešte stále má kapacitu vlastne príjmať imigrantov. Ja som po takej dobe, bol som vlastne profesor v Taliansku, začínal ako keby na novo ako imigrant tu, ale teda krajina ku mne bola štedrá, naučil som sa jazyk a bol som schopný potom vyučovať na Kolumbijskej univerzite a momentálne som teda dekanom na univerzite Seton University.
Seton Hall University,
Seton
exactly.
Hall University. No, teda komunita začala a vy, ako ste spomínali tie roky, môžeme povedať podľa mňa, že ste boli pri úplných začiatkoch. Tak ako sa toto nádherné dnes veľké dielo zrodilo? So, from what you told us already, I think we can say you were at the very beginning of the community, 2 years. But how did it all start? Like this wonderful project, so to speak, which is worldwide known now. What were the beginnings like?
So, in Sant'Egidio's terms, clearly I was not at the beginning. The beginning is Andrea Riccardi with a group of friends, and then many others, including my brother Marco, that invited me to the community. So when I joined the community, we were already 30 people, 35 people. And it's certainly remarkable for me to see how that small group of friends became this very large, hundreds of thousands of people around the world, presence that allows large communities, multitudes, we could say, using a gospel word, to find a way in history. It's just a remarkable gift of life, of this very Catholic presence coming from Rome, that is able to be present in so many places, including Slovakia.
Andrea Riccardi was that?
Yes.
OK, takže vlastne v zmysle komunity nemôžem úplne povedať, že som bol v úplných začiatkoch, pretože to začalo s iným človekom, jeho meno je Andrea Riccardi a vlastne so skupinkou priateľov začali toto dnes už veľkolepé a krásne dielo a pre mňa je to naozaj fascinujúce pozorovať, ako z takej malej skupiny ľudí vznikne niečo, čo v dnešnej dobe má 10 000 členov po celom svete a teda aj na Slovensku. A bol v tejto komunite vtedy, alebo v tých úplných začiatkoch prítomný aj môj brat Marko. No a čo skrslo v hlavách, alebo v srdciach, asi lepšie povedané, takýchto mladých ľudí, ktorí namiesto toho, aby išli niekam na party a začali robiť niečo úplne iné. So what did those young men or young people had in either their heads or maybe I should say in their hearts, and instead of going to some party in Rome, they thought of something totally different? What was it?
So I think it was the gospel speaking. It was a very simple intuition. Andrea had an experience of reading the gospel and receiving it. And I think that Sant'Egidio is still a very simple intuition that the gospel can be lived. That it's possible to hear this word and act on it and practice it. It's very clear in Matthew. You know, the wise person is the one that hears the words and put it into practice. So Sant'Egidio is just the fruit of this awareness that the gospel is always speaking and is actually relatively rare but beautiful when it happens, when we actually listen and decide that it's good to put it into practice.
Títo mladí ľudia jednoducho len počúvali evanjelium, alebo teda jednoducho. Nie je to až také jednoduché, nestáva sa to až tak často, že to evanjelium počúvame a ho naozaj tak započujeme. A komunita Sant'Egidio, alebo teda svätého Egidia, zostáva v takej svojej jednoduchosti a naozaj sa stále opiera práve o to evanjelium, práve o to pochopenie. A je to nádherné, keď si niekedy v živote takto naozaj povieme, že dovolíme tomu evanjeliu, aby nás preniklo, aby sme si povedali, že poďme to uviesť do praxe. Takže to je aj to, čo on vlastne robil v takej veľkej jednoduchosti spolu so svojimi priateľmi. No ale ideme rozprávať o takých rôznych aspektoch celej tejto komunity a možno, že ľudia počuli o tom aspekte, že sa venuje teda chudobným na ulici, ale ja viem, že tam je toho oveľa viac. So we're going to mention right now different and various aspects of the community because maybe someone already heard about it, but usually people connect it only to like the homeless outreach. But I know there's much more to it, so let's speak about that.
So Sant'Egidio can be understood through three important dimensions. The first is prayer. So prayer is the beginning of everything, is also the end of everything. You know, we start receiving the gospel, and then we have to come back to the Lord in gratitude, in repentance. So the prayer is really what gives the community its root. So prayer is number one. The second one is service. We believe that the gospel is very, very clear that the ministry of serving others is something that everybody has to do, and everybody has to do personally, possibly every day. So the community encourages everybody to be generous in service. And it doesn't really matter if you are very old, very young, because you are never too old or too young. You are never too a foreigner, too weak, too this, too that, in order to do something. So the service is actually a liberating invitation to discover yourself as capable of doing service to others.
And before you speak about the third one, I would interpret if you don't mind. Takže máme také 3 aspekty, alebo dôležité piliere našej komunity. Jedným z nich je určite modlitba, ktorou všetko začína a všetko vlastne aj končí. A vlastne teda v zmysle, že má byť aj na začiatku, aj na konci tá modlitba nášho dňa, nášho života. A modlitba je vlastne aj odpoveďou, že príjmeme evanjelium a necháme sa ním premeniť a vyjadríme vlastne za to Bohu vďačnosť. Takže to je určite veľkým pilierom práve našej komunity. Druhým pilierom je služba a v evanjeliu o tom počujeme veľmi, veľmi jasne. Každý z nás je pozvaný slúžiť a my v našej komunite to vnímame tak, že ideálne každý deň. Každý deň by mal byť naplnený službou niekomu núdznemu v tých najrôznejších podobách. Takže nemôžeme si nikdy povedať, že sme buď príliš mladí, alebo príliš starí na to, alebo príliš slabí, alebo že jednoducho nemáme tie schopnosti. Každý jeden z nás je naozaj pozvaný slúžiť. A teraz prejdeme k tomu tretiemu. Now the third one.
So the third one is friendship. And friendship is a very interesting word because it's a gospel word. Jesus called the disciples friends, and he calls friends them at the end. So in many ways, you can see in the gospel almost a trajectory of becoming friends, of being able to be recognized by Jesus as friends. And it's used by Jesus in the context of the Last Supper. It's a very intense moment. And friendship is very frequently misunderstood or misrepresented in the world culture. It seems to be something very weak, very fragile, very social. Now we are bombarded with Facebook and friending and
all
befriending.
The real friends we have there.
and so on and so forth. But friendship is actually a very important spiritual dimension that has huge consequences in social life, in cultural life, and political life. And so the community takes friendship very seriously. And each of us is invited to consider herself or himself as a friend, starting with the poor. This is why prayer, service, and friendship are so united together, because for us, the encounter is what really counts. It's not an activity. It's not a delivery of material goods. It's not money. It's not about
or delicious
things.
Italian food, as you mentioned to me before.
So friendship is very important.
Určite tým najzákladnejším a jedným z tých najzákladnejších pilierov je priateľstvo. V našej komunite berieme priateľstvo alebo aj ten celý koncept priateľstva veľmi vážne a opäť vychádzame z Evanjelia, kde Ježiš nazýva svojich učeníkov priateľmi. Ale ako si môžeme všimnúť, je tam taká istá trajektória, ktorá vlastne ukazuje, že oni sa tými priateľmi stávajú postupne. Každý vzťah vlastne potrebuje toto budovanie. Ježiš spomína slovo priateľ pre svojich učeníkov aj pri poslednej večeri, čo je vlastne veľmi taký intenzívny a silný moment, kedy ich takto nazýva. Ale takisto teda nás pozýva k tomu, aby sme budovali priateľstva. Takže komunita berie pojem priateľstva alebo ten fakt, že máme byť si navzájom priateľmi veľmi, veľmi vážne. A je to teda ale nielen pre nás, ale môžeme začať práve ľuďmi na ulici, ktorí takisto majú byť našimi priateľmi. No a to nás veľmi formuje a to našu komunitu veľmi ovplyvňuje, pretože jednoduchá prítomnosť je pre týchto ľudí, ktorým slúžime, oveľa dôležitejšia ako to, či im donesieme niečo materiálne, či za nimi prídeme a vykonáme nejakú aktivitu, alebo či im donesieme, ako mi teda môjho spomínal pred reláciou, výborné talianske jedlo. Prítomnosť je tým základom a práve prítomnosť v priateľstve. To mi je veľmi známe, pretože moji drahí priatelia na Slovensku vždy sa takto vyjadrujú, vždy povedia moji priatelia z ulice. I'm very familiar with this, not that I would be in this service, but my dear friends in Slovakia, who I hope are watching too, they always say my friends from the street. they always call them this way, and it's very nice to see that intimate relationship.
And it's extraordinary to see that everywhere around the world. So Pope Benedict came once to visit Sant'Egidio's soup kitchen in Rome. And he said something beautiful. He said, you don't recognize who is serving, who is served.
That's wonderful.
So Pope Benedict has a very nice touch in the choice of words. And in capturing Sant'Egidio, there is no doubt that he was very, very gifted, in capturing this sense of how the friendship creates a smoothing of the boundaries of us and them, and the one helping and the poor being helped and all that.
Najzaujímavejšie na tom je, že sa to dá pozorovať na celom svete a vlastne dá sa to pozorovať aj, bolo to zjavné aj v Ríme, keď raz pápež Benedikt XVI navštívil jednu z kuchyň, ktorá teda vydávala jedlo bezdomovcom a povedal veľmi krásne slova. Povedal, že nevie rozlíšiť, ktorí sú tí, ktorí sú obsluhovaní a ktorí sú tí, čo obsluhujú. On mal veľmi taký cit na správne alebo také citlivé vyjadrenia, alebo vedel veľmi správne vystihnúť veci a on vystihol vlastne to, čo evanjelium robí v našich životoch, že stiera rozdiely, stiera tie definície typu vy a my, vy tam a my tu a vlastne to je aj základom pre nás, to je to, čomu sa vlastne komunita svätého Egidia venuje. No, lenže my sme úplne preskočili, že prečo ste prišli do New Yorku. Bolo to teda spojení s touto komunitou, ale tam boli také hlbšie významy a to nám otvorí aj tému do toho, že čo všetko ešte iné komunita robí. I just realized we skipped completely your main reason of coming to New York, although it's of course connected to the community, but I know there's more to it that you wanted to mention because that's going to show us what the other things that the community does are. So
Sant'Egidio has been involved in peace for a long time. And discover peace in a way through friendship. There was a young priest who was from Mozambique in Rome in the 80s, and when Mozambique suddenly became independent in 1975, he was appointed Bishop of Beira and came back to Sant'Egidio asking for help. He was under a Marxist-Leninist regime. He could not celebrate Mass. He was put in jail twice. And so the community decided to help not only by giving medicine and material, money, support, and so on, but also help politically to free the church in Mozambique, this new country that was enjoying independence for the first time after 400 years of colonization from the Portuguese, so that everybody could be freer, not just the Catholic Church, but the Catholic Church was clearly an expression of the people. So for 10 years, Sant'Egidio worked for Catholic recognition in Mozambique, for religious freedom in Mozambique, but that created a very interesting relationship with the government and at the same time with the guerrilla movement that was trying to respond to the authoritarian instinct of the Marxist-Leninist Frelimo government in a military way. So after the death of Samora Machel and after the Assisi prayer that Pope John Paul II wanted, Sant'Egidio became involved in the negotiation between the government and the guerrilla movement in Mozambique. And this is what led Sant'Egidio into peace, and this is what led me to be the representative of Sant'Egidio to the UN.
I just need to ask you, after whose death, please?
Samora Machel was the first president of Mozambique. And he died in a helicopter crash.
Okay. And that brought some change into the country.
Significant change because the new leadership decided to seek a peaceful resolution, and this is why Sant'Egidio was then asked to mediate between the government and the guerrilla movement.
I might ask you for the name again when I interpret, but I'll try. Všetko to začalo takým jedným priateľstvom, opäť sme pri priateľstve, obyčajné priateľstvo jedného človeka vlastne s našou komunitou v Ríme. Bol to kňaz, ktorý pochádzal z Mozambiku a vlastne potom, ako v roku 1975 táto krajina získala tak veľmi náhle nezávislosť, tak sa vrátil a respektíve bol vymenovaný vtedy za biskupa. Dovtedy vlastne bol utláčaný alebo respektíve nemohol sa tak prejavovať a zrazu bol vymenovaný za biskupa. Avšak všetky problémy tým určite nezmizli, pretože vlastne v krajine bol dostatočne totalitný režim, marxisticko-leninský, čiže naozaj tam mal mnoho problémov a prišiel vlastne ako biskup do Ríma nám povedať o tom, že nemôže slúžiť svätú omšu, že bol väznený 2-krát a teda my sme sa začali o to zaujímať viacej a ako komunita sme sa rozhodli nielen poskytovať opäť materiálnu pomoc, lieky a pomôcky ľuďom, ktorí boli utláčaní v krajinách, ale išlo nám najmä o hľadanie pokoja. Takže toto je taká cesta, a toto je príbeh cesty, ktorou sa naša komunita vydala, že sa začala venovať aj vlastne rozvíjaniu alebo podpore pokoja vo svete a mieru vo svete, asi mieru by sme mohli radšej povedať. Čiže to bol taký začiatok. No a v krajine vlastne sa potom došlo k výrazným zmenám, keď zomrel pri nehode jej prezident, ktorého meno bolo, what was the name of the president one more time, please? Samora Machel. A vlastne takisto pápež Jan Pavel II vydal modlitbu, takú tú asijskú modlitbu, ktorú možno mnohí poznáte za pokoj. Pani urob ma nástrojom svojho pokoja a o to sa teda snaží aj komunita a to je tá cesta, kvôli ktorej ja som prišiel sem do New Yorku. Tak povedzme si o tej ceste do New Yorku ešte trochu viacej. Už ste nám prezradili, že ste začínali v knižnici v Queense sa učiť jazyk, ale teda do čoho všetkého sa to vyvinulo. So let's speak about your time in New York a little bit more, your mission here. You already told us that you started with learning the language in a library in Queens, but what did it lead up to now?
So it was very interesting for me because I joined the community when I was a freshman in high school. I prayed with my brothers and sisters every day. And then when I was 35, 22 years later, I discovered that I was alone. Mm-hmm. And there was nobody here that I could go and do things. So it was a significant shift in many ways. And I think that, again, the disciplines of prayer, service, and friendship helped tremendously. I encountered some friends, some American friends, with my future wife and other friends of Sant'Egidio in a Tese meeting in Dayton. And with them, we started a service to a nursing home downtown. And we started with the regular life of prayer, service, and friendship. And this is how the community of Sant'Egidio started in New York.
Áno, bola to určite výrazná zmena pre mňa, pretože vlastne ja som sa do komunity zapojil ako čerstvo vyštudovaný po strednej škole a denne som sa modlil s svojimi bratmi a sestrami a bol som vo veľmi úzkom spojení s nimi v komunite, kdežto keď som prišiel sem do New Yorku, zrazu som sa ocitol v podstate sám, ale samozrejme ten príbeh sa vyvíjal a už s mojou potom budúcou manželkou sme stretli ďalších členov, alebo respektíve budúcich členov komunity. Stretli sme sa na téze stretnutí a vlastne rozhodli sme sa, že začneme túto službu aj tu v New Yorku a v časti, ktorá sa volá teda downtown, teda v spodnej časti Manhattanu, kde sme sa rozhodli slúžiť v domove dôchodcov. No a ja viem, že domov dôchodcov, alebo teda aj starší ľudia sú takisto súčasťou vašej služby a my by sme si mohli možno povedať, že ako vyzerá komunita v New Yorku teraz, ako často sa stretáva, pretože ja viem, že tá odpoveď bude pomerne prekvapivá. So I know that the nursing home still plays an important role in the whole community life, and maybe this is the time we could speak about the community, about how it works here and how often its members meet, because I know that the answer might be a little surprising.
So the nursing home is definitely a very important place for us. It's not the same nursing home because that nursing home became a luxury condominium now as part of this gentrification of New York. As you know very well, it's almost impossible to survive in New York these days. It's a very, very expensive city. And we follow the elderly that were transformed, and now we are in Brooklyn in another nursing home. But the logic then, as it is now, is that it's good for us to celebrate the liturgy, the Sunday Mass, with the elderly. These are brothers and sisters that are stuck in a nursing home. They are isolated in a nursing home. And they would not have Mass if it were not for their community. So to bring the liturgy there and to participate with them, it's a very, very important ministry for us, for them, for the community at large. I feel that there is something beautiful about Sant'Egidio's ministry to the poor, celebrating the liturgy with them. And go ahead.
Okay. Áno, nie je to síce ten istý domov dôchodcov, pretože v New Yorku, ako teda isto mnohí viete, je takmer nemožné prežiť. Je to neuveriteľne drahé mesto, ktoré sa neustále vyvíja. Momentálne na tom mieste, kde teda tento domov dôchodcov stál a fungoval, sú nejaké luxusné byty a apartmány. To už je rozvoj tohto mesta, ale teda my sme nasledovali tých dôchodcov, ktorí boli teda presunutí do Brooklynu, takže sa naša komunita stretáva tam a je to taký začiatok ako keby nášho týždňa, ten nedeľný začiatok, pretože s nimi slávime vlastne svätú omšu a bez prítomnosti komunity by práve títo starí ľudia svätú omšu vo svojom domove dôchodcov asi ani nemali. Takže pre nás je to naozaj vynikajúca alebo taká krásna skúsenosť toho a vnímame, že práve títo ľudia, ktorí sú tiež chudobní v určitom zmysle, majú veľmi dôležité miesto v našej komunite a v tom, ako a komu vlastne slúžime. Takže to by bola nedeľa. Ideme už na ďalší deň. That's Sunday. Are we moving to another day?
Yeah, so about Sunday is also important for me, to share with our friends that we start actually earlier. Before the liturgy with the elderly, we go and serve the homeless already on Sunday morning. We have a small distribution. Then on Monday, we give the visit to the elderly in a different form because we go to the nursing home, the same nursing home, but we have a prayer group. And with them, we write to prisoners in death row. And this is very important because the community of Sant'Egidio met one American condemned to death, Dominic Green, many years ago. And through this particular encounter with one person became a worldwide movement. We gathered more than 5 million signatures for the abolishment of the death penalty. Became a commitment of the community. But it's important for us to maintain these two levels, this political commitment and this more personal commitment. So the elderly in a nursing home write to prisoners in death row, and the death row inmate respond to the elderly. And it's beautiful to see these two weaknesses, in a way, becoming strong, and encountering strength in this encounter. The human encounter that you would go surprised and you say, whoa, what a curious way of linking, two very isolated populations.
K nedeli by som chcela ešte povedať, že naša nedeľa začína skôr, ako v tomto domove dôchodcov slávime svätú omšu, pretože ešte predtým ráno v nedeľu ideme vlastne rozdávať jedlo a svoju prítomnosť teda chudobným v uliciach New Yorku v rôznych častiach. V pondelok potom opäť ideme do domova dôchodcov, ale už s takým trochu iným, ako keby nábojom stretnutia. Je to naša modlitebná skupina, ktorá ide za ľuďmi teda v domove a oni vlastne píšu listy väzňom, ktorí sú odsúdení na trest smrti. A celé toto začalo opäť ako keby len jedným stretnutím, takto v našej komunite už chodí práve s jedným väzňom, ktorého meno bolo Dominic Green a bol odsúdený na trest smrti a vlastne vzbudilo to v celej komunite taký náboj a také zapálenie, pretože vlastne sa nám podarilo vyzbierať 5 miliónov podpisov proti trestu smrti alebo na zastavenie trestu smrti. A niekto by si povedal, a vlastne začali sme to rozvíjať ako keby na dvoch leveloch, dvoch úrovniach. jedna úroveň je tá politická v tomto zmysle, ale druhá je tá úplne osobná v každom jednom dôchodcovi, ktorý sa rozhodne vybudovať si takéto pre niekoho možno zvláštne priateľstvo, kedy vlastne človek, ktorý sa cíti opustený v domove dôchodcov, vybuduje nejaký vzťah s človekom, ktorý sa cíti opustený a je odsúdený na smrť. Takže naozaj toto je ďalšia súčasť našej služby. Tuesday? Or anything else to Monday?
Monday is okay.
We can move on. Okay.
Tuesday is a great day because it's the day of the encounter with the homeless, the people on the street. Usually around 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, people start preparing food. And then around 6 o'clock, we start the distribution. And it's beautiful to see how 140 people every week, very faithfully, are fed. But it's not just the food, which is obviously very good. It's mainly Italian soups and pasta and beautiful way of presenting the food. But I think it's also this quality of the friendship that we were mentioning before. There is no doubt that the faithfulness of the service is part of the success, of the impact, of the particularity of the way Sant'Egidio has done this. We started 9 years ago, and in 9 years we never missed a Tuesday, and it's really like a clock. And in lives that are very often subject to so many injuries and traumas and difficulties, the regularity, the faithfulness, is really a gift of being recognized, being welcome, being embraced.
Útorok je pre nás krásny deň, veľmi dôležitý, pretože v útorok sa vlastne komunita stretáva na takéto najdôležitejšie, na to rozdávanie jedla a prítomnosti našim priateľom na ulici. A robíme to už 9 rokov a vlastne za 9 rokov sme nevynechali ani jeden útorok, takže naozaj v tom meste, kde veľa ľudí prežíva možno rôzne traumy a také v úvodzovkách odpojenie, že sa necítia začlenení. Naozaj to, že táto organizácia klape ako hodinky v tom zmysle, že to je na tej pravidelnosti, že to je na tej vernosti, že verne sa tomu venujeme každý útorok, to naozaj dáva také uzemnenie, také ustabilnenie a naozaj je to veľkým požehnaním a teda viac ako 140 ľudí bez domova je v tej chvíli alebo v tom útorku nasýtených, ako som už spomínala, výborným, najmä talianským jedlom, takže polievky a cestoviny a teda, ale ako sme povedali, najviac tým priateľstvom.
Wednesday is the occasion to visit friends in nursing home here in Manhattan and to visit them at home. And then Thursday is the day where we have prayer with the adult in the Bronx and at Seton Hall where I teach. I am professionally the dean of the School of Diplomacy, so it's very good for me to have at least once a week a moment of prayer with colleagues and everyone there. And then Friday is the day in which the committee prays together in a more formal way, in a way, at Old St. Patrick, at the cathedral of the Basilica of Old St. Patrick. And then we have a dinner together. So we arrived to Saturday and
I'm going to speak about those 3 days before we do that, okay?
Very good.
V stredu navštevujeme opäť starých ľudí v domove dôchodcov, ale tu na Manhattane. Vo štvrtok vlastne sa stretávame v Bronxe, práve na univerzite, kde Thursday was where you meet at the university, please? Yeah. And Friday was the prayer at Old St. Štvrtok sa stretneme na univerzite, kde teda ja učím a kde pôsobím a teda je to univerzita, kde ja sa venujem práve diplomácii, odboru diplomácie a veľmi dobre mi padne raz za týždeň sa stretnúť s priateľmi, s kolegami a modliť sa. Takisto sa modlíme, stretávame a vychutnávame si dobrú večeru aj v piatok a to v priestoroch starej baziliky svätého Patrika tu v New Yorku a teraz sa posunieme ku sobote. Now Saturday.
So Saturday is the closing of the beginning. It's the closing of the week, but it's also the beginning of the new week. And we start in the morning with this wonderful School of Peace that is in the Bronx. Mainly Hispanohablantes, Spanish-speaking kids in the Bronx at the parish of Our Savior. A beautiful occasion to bring them together. in a neighborhood that is very violent and definitely unsafe. And yet the kids are so eager to learn, to play together. And it's beautiful for us because this particular service brings us back to 50 years ago when Sant'Egidio started in Rome. We were high school kids, we were university students. The things that we could do as a service was to tutor kids. And so we started that way 50 years ago. And all over the world, communities of Sant'Egidio usually continue this ministry of tutoring, serving the poor in the children, especially through the school.
Sobota je takým dňom, ktorý vlastne niečo aj uzatvára, aj začína. Je to vlastne náš koniec i začiatok týždňa. V sobotu sa vlastne venujeme deťom, ktoré sú práve v časti Bronx, tu v New Yorku. Sú to teda väčšinou španielsky hovoriace deti, zväčša Afroameričania. A je to nádherná služba a je to vlastne služba, ktorá nás vracia naspäť do minulosti, pretože takto sme v komunite aj pred tými 50 rokmi začínali, kedy vlastne ako vysokoškolskí študenti sme dokázali túto službu poskytnúť bez nejakých väčších príprav. Dokázali sme byť tzv. Mentormi alebo teda doučovateľmi a hľadajúcimi chudobných práve v tom dieťati. A takto sa venujeme vlastne deťom v časti, v ktorej neustále ešte aj teraz narastá vlastne kriminalita a často žijú v ohrození. A je to nádherné, ako oni sú schopné sa hrať, ako sú schopné vlastne príjmať informácie práve takou hravou cestou. A ja by som rozprávala najradšej hodiny, ale chcela by som nenechať ujsť našim divákom aj to, aby videli zo pár fotiek, tak tie si teraz pustíme, dobre? So I could speak for hours with you, but I would like for our viewers to see also the pictures, so this is the time where we can show them to you. Drahí priatelia, tak verím, že toto je opäť nádherné svedectvo o tom, že možno nikto by si nepredstavil, že v New Yorku, ktorý je taký uponáhľaný, sa ľudia z komunity stretnú každý jeden deň, aby slúžili. So I believe this is a wonderful testimony that maybe no one would think that in New York City, which is always so busy, there is a group of people, a community of friends who are able to meet every day to serve others. A náš čas je neúprosný, takže moja posledná otázka je možno taký posledný odkaz môjho vzácneho hostia. So what would be like the last message in this show from you as my valued guest?
Come and visit. We are here. Everything that Sant'Egidio does in New York is open. You can join us on Friday for prayer. You can join us at the liturgy with the elderly. You can join us on Tuesday for the distribution of the food. You can join us in many occasions, many situations. We already had many friends from Slovakia that came. And I think it's beautiful for us to believe that friendship is growing and that we can grow even further together.
Príďte nás navštíviť. A to je moje pozvanie, moja ponuka. A všetko, čo Sant Egidio robí vlastne, alebo komunita svätého Egidia robí tu v New Yorku, je otvorené pre verejnosť v zmysle, že sa môžete ku nám pripojiť, môžete sa pripojiť na všetkom tom, čo sme vlastne v relácii spomínali. Už sme tu mali viacerých priateľov zo Slovenska, ktorí sa k nám na istý čas pripojili. Takže je to krásna príležitosť zažiť, že to priateľstvo, v ktorom rastieme, že v ňom môžeme rásť aj takto v takom širšom kontexte, takže určite príďte. A ja ďakujem, že vy ste prišli, ďakujem za váš čas a za všetko, o čo ste sa podelili a za všetko, čo v tomto svete robíte. And I thank you for coming and visiting our studio and thank you for everything that you with the community do in this great city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ďakujeme veľmi pekne.